I am Dilyara Abdullaeva. I am from Baku, as are my sons. We moved to Crimea in 1996. I raised my children alone. Their father died very early, when my younger son was 5 months old, and his older brother was a year and 5 months. In 4th grade, I enrolled them in the Suvorov Military School. Baku is a very dangerous place for boys without supervision, and I was at work from morning till evening. I didn't want them to smoke or do drugs. I wanted them to grow up into disciplined, dignified men. My older son is Uzeir Abdullaeva. My younger son is Teymur Abdullaeva. They are 44 and 43 years old. They have been under investigation for 2 years and are being held in a detention center in Simferopol. One day, on October 12, 2016, we were raided by 1,500 armed people in masks, bulletproof vests, with loaded automatic rifles, and we were warned, don't move, we have permission to shoot. I have 9 young grandchildren. The youngest is 2 months old, then 1 year, and increasing in age with small difference in age. One son has 5 children, the other has 4. They crawled in through every hole. An armed man broke the metal door. When my son came to the door, they took him down right there, hitting him on the head, in the stomach, and legs, and handcuffed him behind his back. They woke up all the young children and herded them into a corner with their rifles. I think my grandchildren endured such psychological trauma that they will likely never recover from it. It will remain for the rest of their lives. I constantly think about this. My young granddaughter, she's 8, woke up and called out, "Mama, they've come to kill us." She's 8 years old and had no doubt they had come to kill. The greatest number of special forces, police, and FSB agents came to us because it was for 2 families at once, and all on one little plot of land. Which homeland should they love? And who are these people who came to us with automatic weapons? How do I explain this to the kids? For example, who are the Americans and who is Russia? If we are the citizens of Russia, which homeland should they love? And who are these people who came to us with automatic weapons? How do I explain this to the kids? For example, who are the Americans and who is Russia? If we are citizens of Russia, then how do I explain that the Americans are our enemies, while Russia is ours, if Russians took their father away? My sons are athletic trainers. They are educated as lawyers, but since childhood they've been athletes. They studied judo, karate, taekwondo. Even the police would come to them for their annual GTO physical training exams. Disarming, inflicting physical pain, my sons tested them. My older son was the chief trainer in Ukraine. Both sons worked for the Dynamo Sports Club. They cultivated many talented athletes, training girls and boys and adults. I also want to emphasize that my children are observant, religious. In Crimea, this is persecuted intensely. When the campaign against terrorism began, every Muslim was a target, especially anyone the regime found objectionable, since not all Muslims there are persecuted. The last time I saw him was half a year ago. After a year and a half of detention, we were allowed 1 visit through 4 layers of glass. My younger son was held in a special cell, in a special unit, in a solitary cell that had no window and was poorly lit. I saw it on video when I came to the detention center director, crying that I don't believe my son is alive. He showed me through the security camera, the special building where people must enter in threes, 2 officers and their chief, under lock and key. There's a huge long corridor, with no place even for the guard to sit. Their case was sent to the Rostov Military Court. It's been 2 years that they've been in the detention center under investigation, although by law, after half a year, the presumption of innocence prevails. In Russia, the presumption of innocence is a hollow phrase. It's torture, it's a person's physical destruction, it's psychological pressure they're subjected to. No one can withstand this pressure. My sons never intended to flee, even when Russia came. They said, "We live in our homeland. We didn't come to them. The aggressor state came to us. I am not guilty of anything. I am a lawyer. I know that I have not broken any law or committed any crime. What for? For no reason. These are innocent prisoners. The court proceedings are closed to the public. The judges, prosecutors, investigators treat them according to the severity of their alleged crime. Like terrorists, they are caged, behind glass, in the heat and cold in handcuffs. They apply pressure and force and don't let them speak. Their lawyers' defenses fall on deaf ears. What do I hope for? For assistance from the world. People already know that these are repressions, that this is persecution of the Crimean Tatars, Crimean, Ukrainian, and Russian, that they want to drive them out of Crimea. forcibly, voluntarily. If you don't leave, prison. Half are thrown in prison, the other half gets scared and leaves. I don't expect anything from Russia. I hope that the world will help, that Ukraine will help. Maybe it's possible to do something so that Russia can't refuse to exchange or release them. I don't know. I want this so much because my children are not guilty. The judge in Rostov returned the case to the prosecutor's office. This is the first time in 3 or 4 years that something like this has happened. That the judge said directly to the FSB, "What am I supposed to do? Make this up? There is no evidence of their guilt." He sent the case back for revision for 3 months, and then, of course, it will continue. That's how he formulated it. There is no evidence of their guilt. And he said, "Am I really supposed to sit here in the military prosecutor's office and invent their culpability?"